Chapter 124. Not True Love. Although Madame Xue had lived for dozens of years and was almost 100 years old, she led a sheltered life. As her days were carefree, she had no worries. Normally, she would either compare herself to the upper-class women or compete in her own house. She had little experience of the mundane. Even if such a person had lived for 100 years, they would not know much about the world. Madame Xue was a living example. Coupled with her good health and some cultivation level, although she was near the century mark, she only looked to be in her 30s or 40s. If not for Madame Xue introducing herself, Xue Fanxin would not have known that she was the woman who had caused the two Xue brothers to turn against each other. Humph, this detestable woman. She had caused her grandfather to suffer so much, and now she was still bragging about what had happened back then. She was simply rubbing salt into someone else's wounds and building her happiness on their pain. If she did not destroy this woman's prestige and drive her away today, she would not be Xue Fanxin. Old Madame Xue, when my grandfather married my grandmother, although it was not very ostentatious, it was still something that he would never forget. When my grandmother was young, though not a beauty capable of toppling empires, she was still quite beautiful. She and my grandfather were a match made in heaven. After my grandmother passed away, Grandpa never remarried. Even now, he is still alone. You can guess how deep Grandpa's feelings for Grandma are. If a man really loves a woman, he will give up his life for her. If he doesn't, even if he did some rather ambiguous things in his youth, such as snatching marriages, it's not true love. True love is eternal, and it is engraved in one's heart for the rest of their life. In other words, Grandpa doesn't love you at all. His true love is Grandma, you are nothing. As she heard Xue Fanxin's words, Madame Xue's expression turned uglier and uglier. She pinched her palm and tried her best to suppress the surging anger in her heart. She had endured enough pain, yet a certain slut just had to keep talking. Some people, you must not take yourself too seriously. You think you are a pearl, but in the eyes of others, you are only a fisheye and not worth a penny. When Grandma was alive, Grandpa often sat on the roof with her to gaze at the stars. The two of them would lean on each other and enjoy each other's company. Their relationship was like a flower that had bloomed for decades and was never defeated by the environment. Grandpa's feelings for a woman who he had once tried to snatch were like night-blooming flowers that disappear quickly. They are not worth mentioning. Enough. Madame Xue finally could not keep her emotions in check. She glared at Xue Fanxin with an extremely terrifying gaze. Xue Fanxin wasn't someone who would back down. Old woman, what are you staring at? No matter how much you glare, your eyes won't be as big as mine. You what? Are you going to say that I don't respect my elders, that I have no upbringing, that I'm barbaric and crafty? Madame Xue wanted to retort, but Xue Fanxin did not give her a chance to speak. She continued, I have never respected those who are disrespectful themselves. I have never cared about those who have nothing to do with me. As for those who want to harm me, be careful that you will be harmed by me in turn. Your entire Xue family definitely looks down on us grandfather and granddaughter. At this moment, most people are mocking and looking down on us in their hearts. Old Madame Xue, let me ask you, do I have to be polite to such people? Her long speech made everyone in the room speechless. It was not that her words were powerful but that her aura was surprisingly effective. A 15-year-old girl who had grown up in a small place outside could actually release the aura of a superior. How was that possible?